Hi, Jericho. I know you've been having some problems with nervous feelings and anxiety before your test. How have your coping skills been working for you this week?
Yeah, I've been having some anxiety and stuff. I'm about to take my state board for hospitality, so I have a big written test and physical test that I need to take. So I am really nervous, but I have been practicing the skills over and over, and I've been filling out my post treatment log this past week. But I'm still feeling really nervous about the upcoming test.
Okay. And you don't think the level of anxiety and your feelings of nervousness are normal?
No, I don't. I get really nervous and really anxious. I mean, I shake, my heart starts pounding, I get sweaty and shaky. It's just not good. It's definitely not normal.
Okay. And that's what you want to work on?
Yes, definitely.
Well, today we're going to be learning about coping statements or constructive thoughts that you can use when you start to feel nervous or anxious before a test or in any situation. They're just thoughts that you can use to kind of reduce your anxiety in school and, in life, actually. Does that sound good, or do you have any questions about that?
Yeah, it all sounds great, but I really don't know what the coping thoughts are or what that is.
Okay. I can give you some examples and explain, what coping thoughts are. They're basically thoughts that you can practice when you start to feel nervous or anxious in a situation. Um, they're thoughts that can calm you down, or when you start to feel nervous, you can stop and think to yourself, I can handle this, I'm prepared for this. And some examples would be, this isn't that bad. This is what, I've been working for. And these thoughts that you use when you're nervousness, give yourself motivation and positive feedback to reduce the anxiety. Um, do you understand the concept of these coping thoughts?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to take it step by step. Why don't you start to tell me about the feelings when you get nervous? What are some of the negative things that you tend to say to yourself?
Usually when it comes to a test and I'm getting nervous, usually it comes down to me being scared to fail. So I always think I'm about to fail the test, even though I may be prepared for it and studied for it. It's always in the back of my mind that I'm going to fail it. And I think that's initially why I get so nervous, because if I fail the test, then I can't start my career and what you want to do, and then I just feel like everything's going to be a downward spiral of failure.
Right. So those are some of the things that you say to yourself that you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I want you to think of some coping thoughts that could replace these negative thoughts and negative feelings.
Okay. So I can tell myself that usually I am prepared for a test. I can just tell myself that I do know the material and I'm well prepared and I've done it all before at some point. So, I should be able to do good. Tell myself that I'm going to do a great job and it's just to breathe to get through it and try my best.
Okay. Well, that's great. I want you to really feel for how to use these thoughts intentionally. So I want you to think about a situation where you can practice these thoughts and imagine yourself being put in a stressful situation. What are some things that you would say?
Um, I could just tell myself that, I'm going to be great at whatever it is I'm doing, and that I know the material and I'm prepared, and that I'm just going to do the best I can do and just take my time.
Okay, that's great. How does that feel when you stop and take control of your feelings or your thoughts? How does that feel?
Actually, it feels a lot better. I can see how it would work in that situation because, I usually don't think like that. I usually am more negative than the positive.
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to take your nervous feelings and anxiety and use them as a trigger to start using these coping thoughts and make the best out of the situation. But it takes practice. Um, Now, what coping thoughts could you use while you're taking your test? Or what are some things that you could be thinking to reduce your anxiety?
I can think that I can do it and think about what I need to do to get through it, psych myself up and start thinking about, when I pass the test, all the doors it's gonna open and how it's finally gonna start my career and from there everything will just get better and build up. Like everything will just be better.
Okay. Well, it seems like you have a good time of it and really understand these, like how helpful these coping thoughts could be for you. I want to take the time to really imagine that they're there at your test and the things that you'd say to yourself while you're doing your work.
I guess I will just be telling myself that, I could do it and that I am prepared and that I studied and once again, I know how to do all of it. There's no reason why I should be scared of failing. I'm just going to do the best that I can do and focus on doing that.
That's great. And when you say these things to yourself, I want you to really think about the meaning of what you're saying. I want you to look at the coping statements that you would use when you come across a really touchy situation in your test or a situation that you don't feel comfortable in.
I can just take a deep breath and focus on what I need to do. Just focus on staying calm and trying to be positive.
Now practice saying some of these things aloud as if you're taking a test. Think about those nervous feelings that you get before the test and the shaking and the palms sweating and turn them into coping thoughts.
I guess I could just tell myself once again, I know the material, I'm prepared, I know I can do this, I know I can do it great at it actually, and that I'm gonna pass and everything will be good. I just need to remind myself that I am talented when it comes to it and I know the material and I can do good.
That's great. These are really positive thoughts. Now there's something else that I want to practice with you. After class, when you had a test, what are some of the things that you think to yourself? Or what are some of the things that you say to yourself?
Usually, once again, it comes back to me failing. I start wondering about, if the one answer I may have went back and changed. I start wondering if I should have left it the way it was. Or sometimes when I can't think of the answer right away, I may skip over a question and then I'm like, oh, did I go back and finish it? And then that's where all the failing comes in together, I just have this big anxiety about just failing the test and I just get so worked up. So
So you have these thoughts after the test.
yes.
These thoughts sound kind of discouraging or self-defeating, and I want you to try to replace them with more positive motivational thoughts. You could think about how great you did using your coping skills, or that you got through the test. What are some things that you can say to yourself after the test?
I could just tell myself that I did a great job, that I did my best, and remind myself of, the great stuff that'll come once I pass the test. So once it's over, it's kind of like a weight's been lifted. So I guess I could just tell myself I've done a good job and did my best.
Okay, that's good. Now imagine that you've just taken the test, and what are some reinforcing and encouraging things that you can say to yourself?
I could tell myself that I rocked it out and I did the best I could do and that everything's gonna get better from here because of course I passed it with my positiveness and just be happy and know that I did my best.
Okay, that's very good. Well, so far we've gone over and practiced coping thoughts and encouraging thoughts that you can use when you start to get those nervous feelings or start to feel anxious. So I want to practice using them in a sequence together. So, like an example would be imagining the situation before you take the test, when you start to feel nervous. Then you use those nervous feelings as a trigger, so you know to stop yourself. Start using positive reinforcement. It's your opportunity to say to yourself, I'm prepared for this, I can do it. And then, when you come to a difficult part in the test or something you don't feel comfortable in, just say to yourself, I'm prepared for this. I've learned all this, I'm ready. You know, take breaths and stay calm. Cooking skills like it. And then when the test is over and you leave class, I want you to feel good and feel good about using your cooking skills to reduce your anxiety and nervousness. And feel good that you got through it. Do you think you can practice those skills this week?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can use these techniques whenever you feel the need to decrease anxiety or help with nervous feelings. I want you to try to practice it several times a day and keep a log of when you used this and how helpful it was on a scale from 1 to 10. And then we can go over those logs and compare the logs last week and see how helpful the strategies are. Is that something you think you can do this week for her?
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely do that, and I can't wait to see the results.
Okay. Yep, this chart will track the progress you've made and how helpful these strategies are. So, you can stick with them or look at something else.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, look forward to seeing you next week.